Hey guys, what is up? MegaGamer here, and I believe this is the first time I've done an actual vlog video with me in front of the camera in a fair few months, since February I believe. It's obviously June now. The Last of Us comes out in about 12 hours, less than 12 hours now. I'm filming this on a Thursday night, obviously. Filming this on Thursday night, but I'm going to upload it tomorrow morning, right before the Last of Us unboxing. So if you see this appear in your inbox, like right now, then you know the Last of Us unboxing is shortly approaching. Just check your inbox every half an hour or so. It should be up there, and then the playthrough will be up later today. So I'm very excited for The Last of Us, but until then, we got some E3s to review. Now, last year I did an E3 review on all 5 conferences: Sony, Microsoft, Nintendo, EA, Ubisoft. Took 50 minutes, more than 50 minutes. And sorry, I'm not dressed up. I didn't take a shower. It's late at night. I'm gonna go to bed in like maybe half an hour, so just ignore this. And if you don't like these vlog style videos, then you don't have to watch it. You can just listen if you really need to watch. So anyway, yeah, it took 50 minutes last year, so I'm going to try some different tactics to short it down so it's less than half an hour. That'll be a success for me. So I've still got it all written down though. I've got 5 pages for each conference, although I'm not doing a Nintendo conference, alright? I didn't watch that. I don't want to watch that. It's not an actual E3 conference. It's still kind of a Nintendo Direct. And it's a bit confusing the way it is, but the point is I'm not watching it. But from what I've heard from my subscriptions, that they showed off good Nintendo games that people want to see, like a new Mario Kart apparently, and a few good games. But it's still going to take like a year for them to all come out, so it's still taking forever than to get some fucking games on the Wii U. But besides that, they've got some good games coming up. That's what I've heard. So I'm not going to give my review on it. But Sony and Microsoft I'm definitely going to give a review on. And then EA and Ubisoft I'm just going to go through really quickly and give my scores for all 4 of those conferences. And the 5th page is for predictions. I made a predictions video for E3 a few days ago. I'm going to go back on all those predictions I made and say which ones I got right. And by the looks of all the yeses and nos here, like yes as in yes I predicted it, and no as in no I got it wrong. By the looks of this, I actually got the majority of them right, which is quite interesting because a lot of the predictions I made were kind of really on the wild side. Like, oh, I really don't think that's going to happen. But we're all going to talk about the huge success of Sony and how they literally fucked Microsoft in the asshole. No lube, no condom, nothing. They just fucked them in the asshole. And I've already stole that joke from 3 other YouTubers, so I'm just going to stop talking about that there. But okay, I'm going to start off with Microsoft this year, because they were the first conference. I saw theirs live, and yeah, they were the first one I saw because I saw them live. Microsoft's conference surprised me. Obviously, there's this huge controversy over the whole DRM, online bullshit. You can't share your games, all of that bullshit. So let me just check the time. Okay, so there's all this bullshit going around. So Microsoft had to make some fucking big shots in order to win E3. They start off with none other than Metal Gear Solid 5, which really surprised me. I was like, no way. Yeah, keep in mind, I watched this live, so all of my live reactions I'm going to talk about because it were live reactions. Things like some of the surprises for the EA conference, like their ending announcement, and one of the announcements in the middle of the Sony conference. I had those kind of spoiled for me through comments. So, they weren't a true live reaction, but the Microsoft was all live, so I got all live reactions from this. So yeah, the Metal Gear Solid 5 really surprised the hell out of me. Anyway, they showed a trailer / gameplay video. It had gameplay in it, but it was really still just a trailer. But it looked kind of free roamish. Looks like there's going to be more gameplay this time than in Metal Gear Solid 4. The ratio between cutscenes and gameplay is going to be a little more mixed this time, possibly. But it looks really good, and I'm going to have to play all the other Metal Gear Solids. I've only played 4. And I know you're probably going to fucking try and kill me because I've only played 4. I've got 1, I've got 2, I've got 3, I've got Peace Walker, I've got 4, and I'm going to get 5. I've only played 4. What the fuck is wrong with me? I got 4 first, so, I didn't think the story was going to matter so much. I didn't realise it, obviously. Now I do. But I'm going to have to play those other ones. Until then, good trailer for Metal Gear Solid 5. Really surprised me it was at the Microsoft conference. Anyway, they go ahead and keep in mind, when I'm watching this is a point where we all hate Microsoft. We all hate Microsoft at this point for all the bullshit they're pulling on us. So I'm very skeptical. I'm just trying to laugh at everything they're doing. they announced a new Xbox 360 bundle. Well, not a bundle, they just announced a new Xbox 360. Which I thought, what the fuck is the point of that? Who's going to buy it at this point? You know, who's going to buy a 360? I guess that remark, the guy said, "Oh, if you don't have internet, we have another plan for you. It's called the 360." That's probably what it's fucking for. I'm not joking. That's probably what it's for. Anyway, they go ahead and announce a few games. I was really surprised by the amount of exclusives they had on here. It looks like they weren't lying about that 14 or 13 exclusives in the first year. Problem was, a lot of them didn't really excite me. There was only a couple in this conference that had me interested. Anyway, the first thing they announced is World of Tanks, the 360 edition. That's the thing, they count this kind of game as an exclusive when you can just get it on PC right now. Anyway, then they announced a new game called Max the Curse of Brotherhood, which looks so stupid. What the fuck is this? Anyway, then they showed a Dark Souls 2 trailer, which was nice. Then they showed a game called Rise. This was an exclusive game by Crytek. Yeah, when I noticed it was Crytek, I was like, oh, but the game still looks good. Besides it being a little quick time event heavy, yeah, it looks like an interesting game. I might be interested in it, but at the same time, it's not enough alone for me to get an Xbox One. I'm going to be constantly checking the time, just letting you know. Anyway, then they're going to announce Killer Instinct, which I'm not very familiar with, obviously, but I am subscribed to a few fighting game people, and I learnt through their videos the importance of it to them. It's like a series that is finally coming back, and it's going to be exclusive to the Xbox One, so yeah. Don't worry, you'll get a couple of surprise exclusives here, if you haven't already seen the thing, including this next one. They announced a new game called Sunset Overdrive. It's going to be an exclusive. An Xbox One exclusive made by Insomniac Games. The people who made Ratchet and Clank. The people who made Resistance. What happened? Where are you going? Come back! Well, look, but what was that? What was their latest game called? Was it Fuse? I think it was Fuse. If that game is an indication of their future products, then I don't give two shits that they're over at Microsoft. They can deal with their new shit studio, because if they're going to keep making games like Fuse, then they're going to turn into a really shit company, and it's all because they left Sony exclusive and they went to fucking Microsoft. But they made good games, and I'm starting to think they're dying out, especially with this new game that doesn't look really any interesting at all. It kind of looks weird. Anyway, then they show off, they talk a bit more about Forza 5, they show off a new trailer, they show off a bit of gameplay and talk about the new AI tech, which they talk about the AI, talking about how it's, you know, it's, what's the word? It reacts to your decisions and your driving abilities and all of that, like, really in a really advanced way, and it was kind of impressive, but at the same time, I'm not a big racing guy. You may see almost every single Gran Turismo in my house, but they're pretty much all because of my brother. He loves cars, he loves racing that, so he gets all the Gran Turismos. But, yeah. Anyway, then they go ahead and announce Minecraft Xbox One Edition exclusively. This is the thing, I've run into dickheads who say, oh, Xbox is, Minecraft is exclusive to Xbox. It's like, you're a fucking idiot. No, it's not. It's like, oh, it's console exclusive. It's like, yeah, but that's not really exclusive, is it? Who cares, you know? Who cares? And then they announced the Xbox One Edition. How is this better? I don't see the graphics being any better. How is this different? I don't know. Anyway, then they go on the they're showing another CGI trailer for Quantum Break, yeah, that's it, which is an Xbox One exclusive. It's from the same people who made the original Max Payne games and Alan Wake, so already right off the bat I'm intrigued, and I already like where it's going. I didn't even notice, when I first heard of Alan Wake I was intrigued by it, but I never actually, you know, felt the need to get it because it was an Xbox exclusive. Now I've actually got the first one on PC, which makes me think that Quantum Break will end up on PC. It's going to come out on Xbox One, and no less than a year it's going to end up on PC as well. I bet you that's going to happen. And then I'm going to go ahead and get that game on PC, because I really like Remedy. Their first two Max Payne games were fucking amazing. Alan Wake looks interesting. I've already got the first one, I'm just going to play it. So, yeah, I'm waiting for Quantum Break to come to PC, because I know it will eventually, and then, yeah. But yeah, the trailer looked good. Then they announced an exclusive game, I think it was exclusive, for a game called D4. They didn't really say anything about that. Then they showed off Project Spark, like some gameplay where you kind of like make your own like levels and that, which is a little bit interesting, but again, not a system seller. None of these really are system sellers, which is what Microsoft need after this big controversy bullshit. Okay, I'm going to have to speed things up quickly. Again, that's an exclusive. They talk a bit more about Xbox Live. They go on about, you know, filming a match, how they can, you know, upload it, which is basically just stealing Sony's idea back in February. I bet you they put it in after Sony's thing. I bet you they copied that right off Sony. They never even thought of that until the PS4 event. I'm just saying, they probably didn't even think of that until the Sony event. Then they showed the trailer. This is where some of the technical issues get around, and it's funny because I saw this live, so I saw this before the Sony one. So these were hilarious to me. I was like, yeah, Microsoft are failing in some aspects at least. Because by the time Rise came up, I was actually like, oh no, this conference might actually be good. Oh no. My fanboy veins were getting pissed off, but anyway. So they showed off Crimson Dragon trailer, and it was all mute. There was no sound. So everyone in the crowd is laughing. It's fucking hilarious. And then I think that's an exclusive as well. I'm not sure. Then they show off Dead Rising 3. So they announced Dead Rising 3 and they show off about 5 minutes of gameplay, which looks kind of interesting. Haven't played the other two, so I can't really comment on whether it's like the other two or not. But then we heard it was exclusive. What? Anyway. So like I said, there was a lot of surprise exclusives here. Then they show a trailer or whatever for The Witcher 3. I really have no interest in that. And they show a Battlefield 4 gameplay, which, you know, it's... I don't know. I think when I look at Battlefield, I think of multiplayer. I've never played a Battlefield game before, but I think the multiplayer looks fun and addictive as fuck. But I think the single player, I don't know, it just doesn't seem to grab me. I watched that demo, I wasn't really that impressed. But of course I'm going to mention, this took them like 2 minutes to get it started. They started it, there was no sound again, so they're like, okay, this isn't Crimson Dragon trailer, we need the sound for this one to work. So they stopped it, and the guys like walking around the stage saying, oh, shh, be quiet, you know, shut up. So like all the people in the crowd, they were laughing and that, and I thought, this is hilarious, get your ass owned. And they finally got it working, so everyone's like, oh yeah, ha 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 ha. And yeah, like I said, it wasn't that impressive. Then they showed off it says Halo, but I'm pretty sure it's Halo 5. According to my friends, it does continue on from Halo 4, but yeah, they showed off a new Halo game. They said it's going to run at 60 frames per second. Then they talk a bit more about that TV show Halo with Steven Spielberg involved or whatever. I don't really give a shit about that. Then they showed off a game called Titanfall, which looks kind of interesting. And I think a lot of people at first thought it was exclusive, so like, oh yeah, this, and maybe Killer Instinct and Rise. They were saying these were really the free games that they wanted to get on the Xbox One that maybe were system sellers. But as it turns out, Titanfall's on PC as well. So right off the bat, you can just get it on PC. And also Killer Instinct, this is a thing going on. I don't know if it's covered up yet. I think it turns out you can get the game, like the full game, as well as just get a demo-ish version. Because basically what it is, you get the game and then have one character and you have to pay to get every other character in the game. But I think the controversy has been fixed up. I think it's you can get a free-to-play version of the game and then buy more characters. Or you can just get the game normally. And yeah, so you can do it both ways. But still, you know, that would have been a bit of a worry. And then after that, I can't remember if it was before or after the Titanfall gameplay. I guess it doesn't really matter. They announced the console to be $500. 500 US dollars. If you live in Australia like me, that's $600. Okay? I said it before and I'll say it again. Microsoft are doing the exact same thing that Sony did with their third console, and it's going to backfire so badly. Difference between this and the PS3 is that there's a good chance Xbox One won't actually come back and win the generation later on in the gen. So yeah. But all I can say is it was actually a fast-paced, gaming-focused conference. A couple of my predictions on this page, actually no, that's the Sony page, on this page, were actually wrong because I said some things with Microsoft. I said Microsoft will focus on third-party probably. They'll focus on Kinect. I have to say both of those predictions were wrong because, yeah. So I gave that conference an overall 7 out of 10. Because even though they showed games and it was decently paced and all that, none of the games were that interesting to me. None of the games were that interesting to me. They had a lot of exclusives, but a lot of them were minor. There were just a couple of games that grabbed my attention. Not system sellers, though. Okay, now I might as well just talk about Sony before I go on to the minor conferences like Ubisoft and EA. then I'll do my prediction. So I better hurry up, because I'm halfway through my estimated time video, or the time I wanted the video to be. So let's just go through Sony quickly. So they showed off an intro, and I always love Sony's intros, but this one wasn't nearly as epic as the other ones. You know, like their E3 for 2012 or their PS4 event. Those had epic intros. Well, I don't know. I guess they had to tone it down because they couldn't actually show the console just yet, the PS4. But still, yeah, the intro. I know it's an intro, but I was excited to see a new intro, and it just wasn't as good. Anyway, they talk about. That's the thing. For the first 20 minutes, Sony talked about the PS Vita and the PS3. So I like that. They focused still on the other consoles before they moved on to the PS4 for the rest of the show. They announced some games for the Vita. Obviously they said The Walking Dead's coming. And then they actually mentioned the DLC for The Walking Dead, 400 Days, which is coming out during the summer. More likely July, possibly August. So, yeah, So that was pretty cool. That was actually one of my predictions that I thought, it's not probably going to happen. One of my predictions was they would mention the Walking Dead DLC or Season 2. They actually did. So I got a nice little tick for that one. Anyway, yeah, and they announced a few other PS Vita games. I believe they said God of War Collection 1 and 2 is being made for the Vita, so that's pretty cool. I could see those games running on Vita. I mean, if Jak and Daxter 1, 2, and 3 can go on Vita, I'm sure God of War 1 and 2 can go on Vita as well. Anyway, they showed a bunch of trailers for PS3 games that are still coming out. The Last of Us, Beyond Two Souls, Gran Turismo 6. And they showed two more minor games. Rain, which I am interested in. I've known of Rain ever since it was announced. It's been in the back of my head, but every time I see Rain, I'm interested and intrigued by it. And then Puppeteer, which I'm probably not going to get that. I don't even know what that is. Then they actually talk a tiny bit about Naughty Dog and The Last of Us. They talk about how The Last of Us is getting all these amazing reviews, and Naughty Dog's basically made two of the best PS3 games based on Metacritic score, which we both know is The Last of Us and Uncharted 2. They're both on 96 right now. Yeah, they are. Anyway, then they go on to show a Batman Arkham Origins trailer, and they talk about how you're going to get exclusive skins and etc. for PS3. They usually do that with the Batman games. You can play as Joker on Arkham Asylum for PS3 only. And then they go on, and this kind of surprised me. I know it's not much of a news story for GTA 5, but the fact that they mentioned GTA 5 at all was surprising, because they announced they're going to have a PS3 bundle with GTA 5. It's going to come with headsets as well, which is actually a pretty clever idea. We all know GTA is a system seller. Okay, I just got to speed it up. Okay, so finally, that's the PS3 to the PS3 talk. We can go on to the PlayStation 4. They showed a design, and when he was holding it, which I think the design looks pretty damn cool. Like, from certain angles, some people might see it from a certain angle, like, oh, I don't like it. It doesn't look good at all. This looks like another black box. But from another angle, you can be like, that looks really cool. And I like that I actually I found a webpage where you can look at it from a 3D model that someone made, and you can rotate around, look at it from every perspective, as well as the controller. And I think it looks pretty damn cool. The one thing that's a little weird is, I got my PS3 here, you can see it, right? Yeah. You know how obviously there's USB ports down there, and then there's this thing here. The USB port's in the middle. There's two things that are poking out, and in the middle, in the inner side, is the USBs. That was kind of weird, but the USB port, sorry, but I think the console is actually pretty slick, pretty sexy, and pretty cool. I really like it, and it's simple, and it's small. Have you actually seen it compared to the PS3, 360, Xbox One? It's actually really small in comparison to them, so that's pretty good. And when I saw him holding it, I was like, I'm just thinking in my head, if he drops it, it's like, here's the place. Oh shit! Okay, that's funny. But then they go on to talk about some more services like movies, talk a bit more about the social aspect, which I'm excited for the PS4. It seems to be more social, more online orientated, which I'm excited for. As a PS3 only owner, I didn't get too much of a great online experience. So yeah. And then they announced the Santa Monica game, which we knew there was going to be a new Santa Monica game coming. Turns out, it says Santa Monica Studios, and then it says developed by Ready at Dawn, which is the one who do the God of War the God of War PSP games. And then they go ahead and announce the Order 1886. I got here the Order 1866. I'm pretty sure it's 1886, but yeah. So there have been rumours that Naughty Dog were making it, then it was going to be Guerrilla Games making it. It's Santa Monica and Ready at Dawn that are making it. And it looks kind of interesting, so... I mean, it's a PlayStation exclusive. I kind of just thought about it before. It's like, how come every PlayStation exclusive I love? It's just the way they're done. I just love them all. There's not like one PS3 exclusive and I'm like, I don't really like the story, I don't like the style, but I love all of them. I don't know why, I just do. Anyway, then we get some trailers for the other games we heard about back in February. Killzone Shadowfall, Drive Club, Infamous Second Son, Knack trailers. We got 4 trailers for those. And then we learned that all 4 of those, not including Infamous, is going to be a launch title. Infamous will be at the start of 2014, but Killzone Shadowfall, Drive Club, and Knack are going to be launch titles. And then we saw a tech demo. It was actually a preview to the tech demo. I've seen the whole tech demo, by the way, but it was a preview at the conference of a new tech demo from Quantic Dream. And it was a big surprise, because the guy, it turns out when he takes his cloak off or whatever, it's the same guy. It's the face from the tech demo that we saw back in February. It's the same guy. So it's like, cool, they kind of integrated that. That's pretty cool. So I saw the whole thing. I thought it dragged on way too long. The whole tech demo. I like the preview. But, yeah, I like the tech demo. If that's really running real time on PS4, then that looks fucking amazing. And a lot of people don't seem to understand. It's a tech demo. It's not going to be an actual game. Like, some of the YouTubers I follow get confused. I'm like, it's just a tech demo, man. Calm down. Anyway. And then this is when Sony go full out with the indie games. They get super giant games on stage. I believe they're the ones who made Bastion, which I believe is pretty popular. Then they announced a new game called Transistor, the short trailer for that. And then Sony get a bunch of indie developers on stage. They're all playing their own games. They're all going to be on PS4. And it's really cool, you know? It's like, okay, Sony really supporting indie developers, which is really fucking cool. And they even make a joke about the enemy crabs. You know, here's a giant enemy crab from the 2006 PS3 reveal. I like how Sony actually brought that back up. They were like, this is based on real events, but don't worry, there aren't giant enemy crabs this time. That was funny. But something like that. Anyway, they go on to say that Diablo 3 for PS4 and PS3, I believe. There's going to be Sony exclusive items you can get on that. Things from Journey, treasures or whatever from Uncharted, that kind of thing. And then Square Enix come up and announce 2 games, one of which people are going to be very excited for. The first one to show off is Final Fantasy 13 Versus, I believe. But at the end of the trailer, they actually changed it to Final Fantasy 15. So, yeah, they're fucking, you know, some stupid Final Fantasy 13 7.7. It's just 15 now. And I think 14 is going to be a PS4 exclusive. And then they announce Kingdom Hearts 3. Now, I barely ever played Kingdom Hearts 1, but one of my friends in particular, loves Kingdom Hearts. So when I heard that, I'm like, holy shit, he's going to freak out. Kingdom Hearts 3. And I think it was supposed to be exclusive to PS4, but as it turned out, I think I heard somewhere it's also going to be an Xbox One, so, yeah. Then Ubisoft come up, they show up Assassin's Creed 4 demo, but the demo is hell buggy, and it even freezes at the end. You don't even get to see the rest of the demo, so that was kind of embarrassing. Then they showed off Watch Dogs, you know, another gameplay trailer. At this point, it's like, how many clips are you going to show of Watch Dogs? It's kind of the same thing at this point. It's like, okay, we get it, the game looks awesome, but it all kind of looks the same. Every single demo you send us looks the same, so, yeah. Okay, and then they said something with there's going to be DLC or something like that. They probably said it was first for PS4. Anyway, there's this new 2K basketball game. They have a preview of that. Then they're going to say the Elder Scrolls Online is going to have an exclusive beta for the PS4 only, which is kind of cool. Then they come out and announce a Mad Max video game, which it took me a while to understand what the hell Mad Max was at first, but now I know it's a movie or a TV show or whatever that is now being turned into a game. So that's pretty cool. A lot of people seem to be excited about that. And then, this is the best part of the whole conference. This is what won Sony, because up until then, it kind of seemed that it just seemed like there was something wrong with the conference. It's like, okay, you got some cool announcements here and there, but it just seems like there's something wrong. Something's missing. Of course, Sony being complete dicks to Microsoft. They come out and say, PS4 supports used games. Everyone in the crowd goes, oh my god. And then they come out and then they're like, You can keep the game forever. You can trade it in. You can lend it to a friend. You can borrow it to someone. Everyone goes, oh my god, no! And then they say you don't have to be connected online to play a game. You don't have to have your online checked every 24 hours. When they said every 24 hours, that was a direct shot at Microsoft. And everyone was like, yes! But that was the fucking best moment of E3. Seriously, look it up. Sony owns E3. It's probably going to be the thing that comes up. But that was like the best fucking moment of any E3 ever. And then they... in all this wrap of good news, they seem to slip in this one thing that some people might get pissed off, but it doesn't affect me, and actually I'm kind of happy they're doing this finally. You need PlayStation Plus to play online games. That's right, for the PS4 guys, you're going to have to pay to play online. But you have to be PlayStation Plus member. For those who are already being PlayStation Plus member, even just like, for 3 months or 1 month or whatever, no, it's worth it. You get free games every fucking month, and it's amazing. I got Catherine and Hitman Absolution completely for free just because I was a PlayStation Plus member. And it's like that every month. New games every month. It's insane. So, also, it does transfer onto your thing. There's going to be a Drive Club PlayStation Plus thing. So, PlayStation Plus edition, so you can probably get the game for free. And then, you get the game for free with PlayStation Plus. Maybe you get a portion of it, and then you can decide to buy it or not. But, you're going to have to pay for online. But I think PlayStation Plus is definitely fucking worth it. It's not anything to complain about, because it's going to be worth your money in the end. And then they show off a world premiere exclusive of Destiny, Bungie's new game, worldwide exclusive gameplay video, and it's going to have a 2014 release date. And then they go on about the streaming features for PS4 that, we're not going to get it this year, it's going to have to be 2014. And then they announced the starting price, $400 US, $100 cheaper than the Xbox One. I was like, yes! And guess what? In Australia, it's only $550. In perspective, the PlayStation 3 was $1,000 when it came out. The PS4 is $550. That's fucking insane! I'm so happy for that price. I told all of my friends, they're all gonna get it. Finally, all my friends are fucking getting a PlayStation. I'm like, get rid of that fucking 360. Get a PlayStation. They're finally gonna do it because this price is so fucking amazing. I'm so happy. Sony, I would fucking kiss you right now. And that video you made, how you share games, thanks. That video is fucking gold. That video needs to go viral right fucking now. It needs to get 1 billion fucking views on YouTube. Sony are the greatest fucking company in the world. That last 15 minutes, all the way from the PS4 supports games, all the way to the end with that price and that that outro they did, which is a bit more epic than the intro, was basically just a huge fuck you, Microsoft. That was the whole fucking point of the last 15 minutes of the conference. I fucking love Sony. That is the reason why I fucking love Sony, because they got balls and they're gonna give Microsoft shit when they deserve to be given shit. Whew! Sony won E3, motherfuckers. I gave them a fucking 9 out of 10. It would have been 10 out of 10, but Assassin's Creed 4 was a bit buggy, and there just was something up with the conference up until that point. So Sony and Microsoft, bam, done. And it's almost half an hour now, so I'm just going to do this on 5 minutes, just get the sermon done so it's not too long. Okay, so with Ubisoft, they started off with some Rocksmith 2014 game, showed off a tiny bit of gameplay with a musician, I can't remember who it was. And they showed off some sort of montage-ish trailer for Splinter Cell Blacklist, which kind of looks interesting. I've only played the first Splinter Cell ever, so I'm not really into it that much. Then they show off some trailers for Rayman Legends. Then they showed this game and announced a free beta for a game called The Mighty Quest for Epic Loot. And I honestly think it looks so stupid. I really do. I'm sorry, but it looks so stupid. Then they show off South Park, The Stick of Truth. They show a new trailer saying, okay, I know we got new developers, Ubisoft in charge of it now, but we're going to show the trailer and we're going to show you, it's going to be the same game, basically. And it still looks good. I'm still interested in getting it. Then they show off a game called The Crew, which actually looks pretty cool. They show off a trailer and then some online gameplay, how it's going to integrate with online seamlessly with single player. So it looks kind of cool. Then they showed off a Watch Dogs trailer. You know how we get those Assassin's Creed trailers every year and they're how cinematic, they're all amazing CGI effects. Watch Dogs basically got that treatment and it looks cool. And then we got a trailer for Just Dance 2014, no one cares. Then we got some talk, they talked a lot about this, about a Rabbids show. And it looks so fucking shit. I like the way the guy's like, have you ever wanted to interact with the TV show and say, look out behind you, or work out who the murderer was in the mystery before the person in the TV show worked out? I'm like, yeah, there's a little thing called video games for that. You know, the thing you're supposed to be talking about now, not this shit. I mean, they did talk about it a little, you know, there's going to be a Rabbids TV show or whatever, there's going to be an Assassin's Creed movie. I don't mind that, but it's just the way they did it. It was so corny, so stupid, I hated it. Then they showed off some trailers for Assassin's Creed 4, which I'm not excited for. I'm still going to get it, probably day one, but I'm not that excited for it. If I have to choose between PS3 and PS4 again, I'm going to get it for PS3, and I'm not going to regret that decision. Watch Dogs I'll get for PS4, but Assassin's Creed 4 I will get for PS3, because I just feel like I'm not going to spend an extra, 10, maybe $20 to get it on PS4. I don't think it's going to be worth it. Then they show off Trials Fusion as well as some sort of Trials mobile game. And then they showed this, the last game they showed was actually quite interesting. The Division, or the Diversion. The Division? I think it's the Division or whatever. But it seems like some sort of apocalyptic game where it's like online and you can, group up with people and you can attack other people online. And it's a free world, and it looks pretty damn cool. I like where it's going. I gave the conference an 8 out of 10 because two reasons. Even though they showed a lot of games, they showed too many like CGI trailers and they didn't show enough actual gameplay. That was one of my complaints with both Microsoft and Sony as well. They didn't show enough actual gameplay. They just showed too many trailers. And also Alicia, you know how it was her in Tobuscus last year? Well, she was bad. It was no Tobuscus, but she was still so annoying. She wasn't funny at all. I hate that host. Get her off the fucking thing. Ugh. And she makes all these stupid jokes that aren't even funny. Okay, so yeah, like I said, I gave that an 8 out of 10. Then EA is a lot shorter. EA is basically, they start off with Garden Warfare, they show off a trailer, and then they show off some 4-player gameplay. If you don't know what Garden Warfare is, it's basically a 3D shooter version of Plants vs. Zombies. So that was pretty cool. And I like the way how that guy from the game, from the developers who make Plants vs. Zombies, he comes up on stage and he says, wow, I can't believe I'm at the stage at E3. I'm like, good for you, mate. Good for you. You made a great game. It went viral. You're at E3 now on the stage talking about a new game. Good for you. I'm really proud for people like that who manage to, they make a game that's bound to not really do anything, and then they end up getting on E3 stage for it. So it looks kind of interesting. I might pick it up. I mean, I like Plants vs. Zombies, so yeah. And they show a behind-the-scenes video for Titanfall, that game we saw from the Xbox thing, which they've gone about how they wanted it to be fun, they wanted it to be unique. So yeah. And then they show off a mini trailer for Star Wars Battlefront. I'm assuming it's Battlefront 3. But obviously people went fucking nuts over that. We all know why. Then they show off a trailer and some gameplay for Need for Speed Rivals, which looks alright. And then they actually showed off a preview for the Need for Speed movie they're making. If you didn't know, yeah, they're making a movie. And it actually looks pretty cool, I'm going to be honest. It looks really cool for a movie based on a game. Anyway, then they show a new Dragon Age game, a new trailer, which I'm not really interested in. And then they talk a lot about like sports games. They talk about NBA Live 14. They show a new Madden game. They show a new FIFA game. They talk a lot about the new physics, the new engines, the new animations, and the new things they're doing with the games, which is cool. But I think they spent a bit too much time on it. Then they went to UFC. They talked about a partnership with them, and then they showed a trailer for the new UFC game. Then they go on to Battlefield 4. They talk a bit about Battlefield 4, and then they open up the curtain or whatever, and there's fucking like 60 people there, and they're like, okay, we're going to do a 60-player multiplayer match, and that looked fucking awesome. The destruction looks great, especially at the end when that whole building that they were just on fucking crumbles to the ground. Like I said, I just want to play Battlefield for the multiplayer. Single player doesn't interest me that much. I haven't played it, but the multiplayer looks so fucking amazing. I've got to get my hands on that. So probably a day one buy for me. And then right before it all ended, they said one last little teaser, and bam, Mirror's Edge 2. Trailer for Mirror's Edge 2. People already knew what they were talking about before the trailer even started because of that leak. Anyway, I gave that conference a 7 out of 10. So in order, I gave the EA conference a 7 out of 10. I gave the Microsoft conference a 7 out of 10. I gave the Ubisoft an 8 out of 10. And Sony a 9 out of 10. Alright, so now that is my conference reviews, and it was 15 minutes shorter than last year. I'm going to go into my predictions, alright? If you didn't see my predictions video, I'm going to say all the predictions I made. These are all the predictions I made. I said that EA is going to do all the Xbox One shit, and Ubisoft is going to be playing on the PS4 version of their games. Turns out both of them were playing on the Xbox version of their games, as far as I could tell. So yeah. So one of them right, one of them wrong. Ubisoft to show a huge new game, like they did with Watch Dogs, but I said basically this year's Watch Dogs for them. I would say that last game they showed would probably count for that. I really like that, so I'm going to say yes for that. Microsoft to show at least some games, well yeah, they definitely showed games. Halo 5 announcement, well yeah. Microsoft third-party focus and Kinect focus, no, for both of them. And this is one of the ones I really didn't expect to happen, but it did at the Sony conference. The Walking Dead mention of either DLC or Season 2. I actually said in the video, I doubt it will be on the conference or the floor, but it would just be mentioned during the week. It was at the Sony conference. So yes to that, they're going to show the PS4 and announce the price. Yes, they were going to announce the release date for the PS4 and show different models. No, they didn't do that. The PS4 would be cheaper than the Xbox One. Yes, I was right about that. The PS4 will succeed, will be a good price if it was $400 or less. Well, it turned out to be $400. And I converted this to about $700 in Australian money, Turned out to be $550, so that's a huge win for me over here. I also said Santa Monica are going to announce their new game. They're either going to make a God of War game for the Vita or a new IP for the PS4. We basically got both. They're making the order with Ready at Dawn, and then we're going to get God of War remakes for the Vita, which I'm still going to count because I'm going to get those anyway. I said no Uncharted 4 at E3, we didn't get Uncharted 4, so yeah. I said we're going to get a Vita price cut, no we did not. Sony Bend are going to announce a new Vita game, no they did not. They were going to announce at least 3 new big exclusives, and when I originally said this, I meant games that were already in their series, like the 3rd or the 4th version, like a new God of War, a new Uncharted, not a new IP. Well, I was kind of right, because I kind of changed it to just 3 big exclusive games, because IPs are kind of better in most ways anyway. We got The Order 1886, so that's one big game. We got Kingdom Hearts 3, that's another huge game. I'm trying to think, what else did they announce at the Sony conference? I don't think they really did. I mean, they announced a couple of games, but yeah, I still counted that as a yes anyway, that prediction. And then these two were no. I said they were very unlikely anyway. It was that Last of Us for PS4 and Rockstar Agent reveal for PS4. Okay, I'm going to just wrap this up now. Both of those were no. So I'm going to count these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I made 20 predictions. And the yeses were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Wait, I lost count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I made 20 predictions. 12 of them came true and 8 of them did not. So I would say my predictions video was a success. So that was my E3 review, guys, for the conferences, for the main ones, not including Nintendo, as well as which one of my predictions came true, and the majority of my predictions came true. So good, 60% I believe it was of my predictions came true. So thanks for watching. I know I said I was going to try and wrap this up under half an hour. It's just going to be under 40 minutes, but still better than last year. I can't rush this kind of shit. I've got to go into debt with them. Like I said, Sony fucking won E3. With that ending in the last 15 minutes, they fucked Microsoft and they fucking won E3! I had to do that jump. So, right after this video, really shortly, The Last of Us. My hands light fire. I should have edited that in. But, so thanks for watching. I'm going to try and get some sleep now. The Last of Us comes out tomorrow, or when you see this video. I basically already got it by the time you've seen this video. So thanks for watching. It's time for The Last of Us after a huge week of E3. This was a huge week for me. E3, and I turned 16, so I got my L plate, so I've been trying to learn how to drive for the whole week. And now The Last of Us comes out. It's been a huge week for me. So, yeah. And by the way, I'm a fucking fantastic driver. I've only ran over 5 cats and hit 2 cars. And it's all their fault. Even the cats, it's all their fault too. Anyway, see ya.